Hi everyone, welcome to the second video from this page 33 from Autumn by Colouring Heaven, their 2025 one. Now we have a lovely cluster of leaves and berries to do today. This is one of the pictures by Alexandra Dannenmann. Now, of course, I was attracted to these berries right away. There's so many options I could choose to do them, but I think I'm going to start with this. Should I start with the leaves? I think I will. I think I'm going to start with the leaves and then leave the berries till last and have lots of fun with them. So let's just start here, this leaf here. Now I'm thinking, you know, it's autumn, so we're going to do some colours that aren't all just green. So I'm going to start with an oxide of chrome on this leaf, but we're going to change it up a little bit. So oxide of chrome, Castle Arts Gold, by the way. If you have the if you don't have the gold set and you have the soft touch set, you might find you can get similar results with, but the colour names aren't all the same, and sometimes the colours are different even if the names are the same. I have actually done a comparison swatch chart because I was just so interested. Right, so lots of green in the middle there and less towards the edge. We're going to taper off to a sort of goldish look, I hope, with the terracotta light. So I'm going to put quite a lot on the edge and then just sort of mix it into the green, hopefully. It doesn't really look gold, does it? It looks brown, but that's okay. And then I am not going on that very edge. I'm thinking maybe I could do that in a darker brown to make it look like those edges are crisping up. I'm not very keen on how that's looking. I'm going to grab the cadmium green pale. I'm just going to go over the whole of that with this, just to try and blend those colours together a bit better. So at the moment they're not sitting well, in my opinion. If I tone down that orangey yellow and then pale down that green and just smush it all about a bit, I'm hoping it'll look better. I think it is. I'm happier. There we go. And then, as I say, the very edges going to do in a dark brown. I'm actually going to use the burnt umber, if I can find it. There it is. Burnt umber, so really very dark. And just working all the way around. I might not do that on all of the ones with a little edge, so I might have a think. So this one, now the stems are a bit tricky. Which stem belongs to which leaf? I found my swatch chart that I lost yesterday, which is good. In yesterday's video I said I couldn't find my pen swatch chart for my pens. I actually found it in the scanner. Of course, it did occur to me it might be there. Now this little leaf here we're going to do next. It's only small. I'm thinking I might do this one just no, I think I'm going to do this big one in green, because then the berries will stand out better behind it because they won't be green. So actually we'll just start this one in a green. Let me have a look. I'm going to start with a cadmium green. Why not? Don't use it very much. Use the pale one all the time, but not this one. And I'm just going to get a layer down so I can see actually where the leaf is, where the leaf starts, where the branches end, that sort of thing. So I can work out what's branch, what's leaf, what's veins, that sort of thing. And just put a sort of rough layer on. Now I know this doesn't look very autumnal, but I think we can't put orange, red and yellow in everything. So this one might just be green. There we go, just working my way around. Now, there we go. So now I need to work out, do I want to do, yeah, I think I'm going to mark these veins out a bit darker. I think it gives it a little bit of character. Like that, and the edge. My desk is creaking again as usual. Now we've got to guess which the stem is. I'm going to go for that one. Just sort of seems to make sense, doesn't it? Now these sections I'm going to do in different colour. I want something quite pale. We don't have a massive amount of pale. I might have to go for leaf green light. Here it is, leaf green light. Going to give it a sharpen. I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work. Who knows? I'm going to start with a section at the top here where I can see. So what I want to do is make it a bit darker here and then lighter up there. But I don't know if I can carry that off with this little pale green. I think I might be able to get it to work. So lots more layers near the bottom. And then a few less up here. A line there. My sister was asking me for ideas for, she wants to start a business. And she wants something that is, there's a niche in the market, obviously, which is what you want to do when you start a business, that she can do from home, work around school, homeschooling and everything else. I think it's pretty tricky. Now there's a little line in between these two berries, which I think I should have done in the cadmium green. Now I think what I need to do to emphasise these sections is just use my cadmium green. Just put a bit of colour in the bases of these. Just messing around, it's fun. Like that. And then I think the top bits I could go in with a bit of a yellow. Thinking maybe the lemon yellow light. Yeah, the lemon yellow light might make them really stand out. Just the top bit. There we go. There's a bit in there as well. It's not quite how I imagined, but I quite like it, so that's good. Now we're moving to this one. I'm thinking maybe I want something more reddish, but still brown. So I'm going to go for the sepia, which is a redder tone. Where are you? There. Sepia. And yeah, I think with this one, I'm just going to go quite dark down here. And then just fade it to the tip. Well, not all the way, like that. And then I'm going to want a colour on the tip. And I'm just trying to decide what I put there. I could go really dark, but I don't think it's going to work. I could use like the yellow ochre, the terracotta light, something like that. Or I could even go for a cadmium yellow or a naples yellow. I'm going to go naples yellow. You could hear my mind working then, couldn't you? When I was looking at my swatch, thinking about what I was trying to achieve with regards to colour. There we go. I wanted it out of the lines. Oh, let's have a look. I've got an eraser here. Which wasn't very clean and put blue on my paper. Uh-oh. Hang on, let's try a different eraser. That's better. Right, this leaf here. I said red, but that's not really red. It's ended up brown. So we could go more red for this one. Maybe red and orange. I'm looking at my red ochre. I'm going to start with that. Red ochre, but I'm going to do this one differently. I'm going to put a little bit of colour in each section. That's really pink. Oh well, we'll be going over it with some orange. So darker here and then less up. Gosh, that's pink. Not that you can't get pink leaves, I think you can, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was in the soft touch to red ochre's orangey. I'm sure it is. Anyway, no matter, we'll get there. Okay, so there's that. So now we're going to go on top. Let's go with the marigold. And I'm going to go just on top of what's there, and it will make it go orange. Can't really see the red now particularly well, can you? I'm just going to burnish it so that, not completely, and then I'm going to go back in with a bit of red just to emphasize it a bit more. This looks like it would make a lovely buttonhole. Imagine for a wedding, instead of flowers having berries. That'd be gorgeous. Maybe it's just me. I just love my berries. Right, I'm going to do again more of an orangey one here, but I'm going to use why am I going to start? Yes, I'm going to start with the cadmium orange deep this time on this leaf. I think I'm going to do this more like this one, so I'm going to ignore the segmentation. So just plaster down some orange and then fade it less as you go up, like that. And then we're going to get some yellow on top of that. The brilliant yellow. I'm just trying to use a big range of colour. So this one needs to be darker at the top and then less as we go down, and it will just blend it all up, burnish it. Give us a gradient, looks like a sunset. Now the very edge of this one I want to outline in a dark brown, again giving the idea that maybe there's some dried out, you know, so it's starting to dry out. So I'm going to use the permanent brown deep. Question my reading ability then. Is that what it's called? I thought to myself. Yes, it is. There we go. Now this leaf on the end, I'm going to go back to a more browny tone. I think it will sort of match that one then. I want something a little bit different now. I'm looking towards the cinnamon. It's quite a reddish brown. I might just put it all. We haven't done the stems for these, have we? Let's think. So the one we just did was quite orangey, but we did the brown outline. I think I do the brown. So permanent brown deep for this one. Could be here, couldn't it? And then there's that sort of red one. We used the red ochre. We'll put it here, but we'll put the marigold on top of it, like we did on the actual one. That's cadmium orange too. There it is, marigold. That one. So it's this one we're missing. This one. Maybe that one's there. We'll use the sepia. There we go. And then, oh, something's come through my letterbox. This is the cinnamon. I'm going to do all this in cinnamon. This will influence the colour of my berries, because they certainly won't be cinnamon. That sounded quite big, like a book. My husband's been ordering things, I wonder. Although I'm going to do dark edge and then we'll get some other colours in here. He's after a new phone, so I think he wouldn't be buying other bits and bobs. It's going to be quite expensive, what he wants. Right, the browns. I might get a darker brown. I'm going to go for the slate grey. I know it says grey, but I always think this is a brown. I'm going to sharpen it and use it. Yeah, I think I'm going to use it in each little segment, just a little bit at the bottom of each segment. Just sort of fade it up. Not putting too much down, it's quite dark. But I might find I need a little bit more. Now I want I'm going to use the cadmium orange light. It's not a pencil I use very often. Can't even find it. There it is. Cadmium orange light. I'm not convinced it's actually an orange. It's more like a peachy colour. But I'm going to use it to finish these off. I think with the cinnamon underneath, it will just give us some brightness to mix with that darker brown. Yeah, I'm liking that. There we go. Just add it until you're happy that you've got enough, really. There we go. Now berries. Hooray! I'm excited. Now I want a dark brown for the stem. Is that going to be what? Yes, the Van Dyck brown. So I'm going to use this. It's very, very thin, this stem, so I'm not going to do anything but quite a heavy line. And I'm also going to use this dark colour for these little bits here. Sort of dead flowery bit, aren't they? My machine is spinning away. Now, between here and here, there's a tiny gap where I didn't put enough colour in, enough green in. There we go. You might not need to touch anything up. Yours might look good. Now, what colour for our berries? We could go, I'm thinking a really bright red. Like, I'm going to start with like a scarlety type red. What do we have? Oh, we don't have many, do we? We do have a scarlet red. I'm going to just, where is it? Someone's eaten it. Oh, there it is. Scarlet red. So I'm going to put down a base layer of scarlet like that, not too hard, because I want to add in some darker colours, not too dark. I'm going to use a magenta. Where are you, magenta? There it is. Magenta, just for the base. But where we've got these dots drawn on, implying that it should be a little bit darker. So I'm going to really go to town there with layers and then fade it up like this. Now if I put more scarlet on here, you won't really see that this bit at the bottom is significantly darker. So what I'm going to do is pick a different colour. I'm actually going to use, just looking at my swatch chart, the Coral Deep. It's a pink and it will help, we'll be able to use it to burnish without it. Hopefully we'll still be able to see the difference between the colours at the top and the bottom. There we go. I'm just going to sweep that. There we go. Now we've got a ribbon to do down here, and I'm wondering whether to use this scarlet red, but really hard and bright. So that's what I'm going to do, so that it shows up. You can see what it is. There we go. Now the berries, I want them to stand out just a bit more. So what I'm going to do, I've got these pens that I used yesterday. I'm going to grab one. I have found my swatch chart, so I'm picking what I think will be the best colour, this one. And I'm just going to put some dots of this pen at the bottom of the berry, and it should darken it a bit. My phone's ringing. Oh, it was just a scam call after all that. Right, so I'm just doing some dots at the bottom here, where these black dots are, just to try and make it look a bit darker. They're not that dark. I don't want to go like really, really dark. I'm just playing with my new pens. But what I am going to do is use some white to make them look a little bit shiny. There we go. This is Languo pen as well. Oh, it's taking a little concentration. She can't speak. There we go. I'm really hoping that isn't going to bleed through. I used the right colours. I think so. So there it is, all finished. Anyway, let's bring it to shot a little bit so you can see it. There's our really sort of, I think it's a bouquet of leaves and berries. Oh, my wash machine's just finished. It's good timing, isn't it? Everything needs me at once. Anyway, that is me done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and happy colouring.